Thank you for joining us here at the demo day of the Impact Challenge. Thank you for those watching over YouTube, but also thank you for everyone joining from the Impact Connect. For everyone that joins over YouTube, this event is part of the Impact Connect as part of the Impact Festival. So thank you for all of that are now want to watch the Impact Challenge. So over the last weeks, we designed a program for young entrepreneurs to pitch ideas or develop ideas in the area of sustainability. Over the next 60 minutes, you will see those results. You will see 5 teams pitching for a prize money of in total 4,500 euros in the categories Best Business Model, Best Technical Implementation, and Most Sustainable Impact. They will be judged by a jury consisting of experts from investment and industry in the area of sustainability, and they will question the business model, they will question the ideas, and they will decide who will win this challenge here as part of the Impact Festival from us. My name is Lukas Schmidt, I'm the Head of Innovation Products at TechWord here, and before we dive into the challenge, let me take you briefly on a journey in time and take a short zoom out why we're actually doing this and why we need more sustainable innovation nowadays. For that, let's go into the year 1989. For those that don't know what happened in that year, this is the year when the World Wide Web was invented by Tim Berners-Lee. So thinking about that, in only 30 minutes, he, with his idea, reinvented basically our society and had a lot of impact on our sustainability, on our environment. Yes, the internet really was a key driver for a lot of innovation. So imagine a world before the internet where we hadn't all the connection that we have nowadays, with now having all the knowledge from the internet at one click Google search in front. And I think his invention really made tangible how much we as society can achieve and how much we can change over only 30 years. Why am I talking about this? Because I think it shows that we can develop to a more, or with his idea, we can become a more innovative environment and more connected. And looking over the last 30 years, we've not only seen the development within the internet, we've also seen other developments in our society that made us more wealthy, more healthy, and more innovative than ever before. Unfortunately, there's also a price on that. With all the development that we have over the last 30 years, we also see that we as a society have an impact on our climate. What you see here in the back is not just a pretty visualization and a colorful play. This is actually a visualization by Ed Hawkins, a data scientist that visualized the impact that we as humans have on climate. So what I really like about this representation or visualization is that it's not only showing that there's something getting warmer or that we have an impact, it more importantly sets climate change into perspective of time. What you see in the back is actually a representation of every year, so every stripe is 1 year, and it shows the deviation of the mean temperature for every year from the year 1850 to the year 2018. And what it shows is, especially in the last 30 years, we are getting more and more the feeling that we changed the climate and the world is heating up and it's getting more tangible. What is even, unfortunately, a little bit more concerning in that sense also is, if we look at the underlying data, the time period from the 100 years before basically the internet was invented to this year, we added the same amount of carbon emissions to our environment than only in the last 30 years. So even though we're already faced with the impact, we're already seeing that our world is heating up, the impact will be more tangible over the next years and decades. But it also shows, looking at that time, that this haven't always been like this. So we as humans did this, so we can also solve it. And what we need for that is, in the next 30 years, more innovation to rethink our society and make changes, like, for example, with innovation like the internet, in the area of climate tech, to solve this crisis that we're faced with, to solve the biggest challenge that we're faced with as humans. So what we need to do for this is we need to act. We need to stop taking pledges. We need to bring ideas into business. We need to realize ideas and rethink our society as it is today. And one key driver will be innovation. And I would like to sum that up with a famous quote from Thomas Edison, which says, I have more respect for the fellow with a single idea who gets there than for the fellow with 1,000 ideas who does nothing. And I think this is a very important message because we need to act. And I think this is exactly with that I would like to come back to our challenge, the Impact Challenge, because this is what our teams did over the last weeks. They did something, they realized their ideas. And without much talking by myself about this, let's get someone on board who really designed this program with me together. Welcome, Patrice Pogoe, who's the project manager with me together on this event. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you, Lucas. Hi, Lucas. Hi, everyone behind the screens. Super glad to be here after such a long journey, finally at the finals.
Yes, Patrice, please tell the audience, what did the teams experience over the last weeks?
Sure. So on March 1st, we kicked off the Impact Challenge with slightly more than 60 talents from around the globe. And they all gathered together virtually. And when we started, the first thing that the talents did was actually watch the courses on our platform, form their teams, and start the ideation process together with their newly met coaches. Then we went over to the bootcamp phase. Those were 3 weeks of super hard work for the teams. So what they did there is they developed their business plans and their technical infrastructure, but always keeping in mind to create the most sustainable impact possible. They had inputs from an agile coach, they had inputs from green tech founders, and from our corporate partners that helped them go through. What was really cool was that you could really see the progress that the teams made every week. And by the end of the bootcamp, we had the final pitch event where our corporate jury and our experts have together identified 5 final teams that have now prepared their pitches and they are ready to showcase their solutions to you today.
Yes, with that, we would like to thank our corporate partners that supported the program over the last weeks. And these partners are, first of all, our sponsors, Finance in Motion, equensWorldline, and KfW. They not only sponsored the prize money that the teams can win today, they also supported us with, for example, Scrum sessions within the program. They took part as a jury and they really helped us to make this program possible. So thank you very much for our sponsors. Next to that, we have SAP as a technology partner. They provided a prototyping platform with Mendix and they advised the teams on prototyping throughout the program. And last but not least, of course, very much thank you to the organizers of the Impact Festival, to especially Moritz and Fabian, who had this great idea also for the festival that is coming up in September, and that together with us, with the whole team, designed the program here today. Thank you for making this possible.
Exactly, but that's not the only people that we want to say thank you to. In our challenge, we had more than 30 mentors, coaches or experts that have accompanied our teams throughout the bootcamp phase and are still doing so today. Thank you for your help. Thank you for bringing in your expertise in tech, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. This program would not have been possible without you.
Perfect. With that, let's get to the ones that are decision makers here today with us. Let's welcome the jury with us here on board. And we would like to start with Dr. Barbara Mehner, who is a venture consultant and entrepreneur. And as a fun fact, she has been a supporter of the circular economy since she was a child, as she sold her belongings at flea markets and reinvested the money already locally. So great progress on that. Hello and welcome, Dr. Barbara Mehner.
Hi, everyone. Really looking forward to the pitches now.
Great. Hi, Barbara. Next up, we would like to introduce to you Matthias Leis. Matthias is the CEO of the Mind Incubator, and he has been working with startups for almost 8 years or even more. What's so funny is, most of you probably don't know, but Matthias is also the co-initiator of the Impact Festival. Now, what drives someone to start planning a physical festival with over 1,500 people on site during a pandemic? I would say it's an entrepreneurial mindset. And this is also something that we will see here today, because entrepreneurship is sometimes also about taking decisions and risks that do not seem common. Welcome, Matthias.
Thanks, welcome everybody. So yeah, looking forward.
Perfect. Next is Sascha Lipman. She's founder at Tech to Impact, or of Tech to Impact, and she's been in the startup area for 5 years already, even though her background is actually in Japanese philology. But he got her whole experience by working hands-on in accelerators, so she knows the startup ecosystem by heart. Welcome, Sascha.
Thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to see great impact tech startups here today.
Next up, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Sebastian Schaefer. Sebastian is the managing director of TechQuartier, and he has been working with startups for more than 10 years already. His own first entrepreneurial steps he did in the early 2000s when he has, together with his philosophy professor and a gallery owner, launched a philosophy cafe where you had the principle of pay what you want, which was very uncommon at that time. A true entrepreneurial mind. Welcome, Sebastian.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so much looking forward to the pitches. It's great to have this lineup of interesting ideas, and thanks already to all of you making this happen.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, we have Morten Ugelvik Andersen. He is CEO of Venture Cup Denmark, and he and his team have screened over 15,000 business models over the last 10 years. So he's really an expert, and they accelerate and select the most promising and impactful ideas with Venture Cup Denmark. Welcome, Morten.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here. I'm very excited to hear today's pitches, and very happy to partner up with the Impact Festival. Besides being the CEO for Venture Cup Denmark, I'm also the CEO of University Startup World Cup, which is the organization that we've partnered with. And hopefully we can see some of today's teams in the University Startup World Cup. So I'm very excited to be here today.
Thank you very much, Morten. All right. So now that you've got to know the jury, there's only one little puzzle piece left here, the teams. So let's get to know the teams. Who are they and what have they done throughout the past few weeks in the Impact Challenge? Well, let's ask them. Have a look.
If I would have to describe the Impact Challenge in 3 words, those would be promising, challenging, and visionary.
Discovering individual innovativeness.
Fun, inspiring, and rewarding.
Network, education, and teamwork.
Fun, innovative, and wholesome.
Challenging, exciting, refreshing.
Intense, fun, and rewarding.
Challenging, innovative, and learning.
Innovation, sustainability, and fun.
I would say a great opportunity.
It was fun, but also very intense throughout these few weeks. And as the name already says, quite challenging as well.
I'll describe the Impact Challenge in 3 words. They would be amazing.
I really enjoyed the opportunity to work with the people from all around the world who are also passionate about the sustainable development and want to make their own impact on our common future.
It's been definitely the possibility to meet other young people like me, eager to make the world a better place.
My favorite part was the exchanges with the experts, how they know a lot about it and how can they adapt their knowledge to the ideas we came up with. So that was pretty cool.
Being able to gain access to a global network of like-minded and great people, as well as an awesome team of tech and sustainability experts.
Most was meeting so many like-minded people, especially interested in green tech, maybe my teammates, the other teams, the great experts we had, or our coach Marish.
What I enjoyed most about the challenge was that the TQ staff has created the perfect environment and all the resources that we as a team needed to bring our idea to a whole new level.
The team members from our team Dubhe come from a very diverse educational and cultural background. So when all of us got together to work on our solution, it turned out to be a very energetic and inspiring work experience.
That everybody came from a different perspective and has experience in different things, and everyone was very willing to work together.
Working with my teammates has been a low-effort, fun experience, since before being co-workers, we're friends.
What I most liked and learned was how important it is to have people that complement each other with different skills.
Work in our team is a little bit like an anthill. It looks a little chaotic from outside, But everyone is 100% committed, knows what needs to be done, and this creates something great that is bigger than all of us.
The idea we developed during the challenge is called Suscoin. It's a green currency that should incentivize you to switch to green mobility. The app we built during the challenge should create the perfect environment for you to tackle climate change in a way that is fun and rewarding.
Here within the team, we are developing a platform to facilitate sustainable purchase decision.
We developed a sophisticated artificial intelligence system to explore and analyze garbage data to make the world a cleaner place.
Our idea is to sustainably innovate the beverage and liquid food industry by changing a simple thing, the packaging, to a reusable stainless steel keg.
Our team is working towards developing a Google Street View for air pollution data in order to combat air pollution in the cities.
Let's collaborate,
innovate,
and act together
for a better future
at the heart of innovation.
Well, if that was not a great introduction, I don't know what is. Before we start with the pitches, let me introduce you to the rules. We will have 5 teams pitching today. Each team has got 3 minutes for their pitch and 3 minutes to answer the questions of the jury. Each time this will be a hard cut, means if a speaker will exceed the 3-minute limit, we will just cut them off. But now, without further ado, let's start with the pitches. The first team that I want to introduce to you is tackling the problem of air pollution. And actually the speaker of the team is someone that I've already known from a former program, and I'm very happy to see her again. This is Team Dubhe, and I want to welcome here Yashita.
Thanks, Patrice. Hi.
Hi, Yashita. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm really looking forward to the pitch.
Great. So then, are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Then please, Yashita, start pitching now.
Imagine looking outside your window one morning only to find mountains towering in the distance which you had never seen before due to years and years of pollution. All over the world, many people are waking up to new colors of their cities as the blanket of smog is vanishing due to the corona restrictions. We believe that it is important to use this momentum to contribute towards fighting air pollution in cities. After all, it is the need of the hour. According to the WHO data, 90% of the world's population breathes in air that exceeds the WHO guideline limits. This leads to nearly 4.2 million deaths every year, which is nearly equivalent to the whole population of the state of Saxony in Germany. Now, it is clear that action must be taken urgently. However, as most cities only have very few air pollution sensors, the resulting data is insufficient for conclusive evaluations and effective strategies. And that is where we come in. We are the Google Street View of air pollution data. You can dive in and explore the various levels of air pollution at the street level. Firstly, we will combine data from the ground IoT sensors with satellite and other open source atmospheric data. With that, we train a deep neural network in order to make predictions of air pollution levels in every nook and corner of a city. This will then be embedded into a simulation platform on the cloud, where the effects of different policies can be tested in different parts of the city. During the Impact Challenge, we developed a click-through prototype of a website where the user can zoom into the map of their city and see values of air pollution with a higher resolution. Through the website, the users can also access an initial click-through model of our simulation platform. Now, because it's difficult to attain government tenders as they work with public funds, we will start by cooperating with companies that are working with smart city solutions. For instance, companies that are providing air pollution data using their sensor architecture. However, in the long run, our main goal is to work with policymakers in order to have a bigger impact. From these potential clients, we can derive 3 main revenue streams in our business model, which are customized advisory services based on the model's predictions, monthly subscription fee for accessing our platform using a freemium approach, and also selling the high resolution data to consultancies and other groups of interest. After conducting a general market analysis, we found out that by 2025, the air pollution market is forecasted to be worth $98 billion, with a current growth rate of 5%. The estimation of our share in the market is embedded in our next steps. We are currently working on developing the machine learning models, conducting a thorough cost and revenue analysis, which is needed to compute our market share, and also collecting further feedback from all of our stakeholders. Our team consists of engineers from a diverse technical and business background, and brings with them the necessary knowledge to tackle this challenge and lend our hand towards a more sustainable future. So come and be part of this change to provide future generations with one of nature's most valuable gifts, a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yashita. That was a great pitch. Are you ready to tackle the questions of the jury?
Yes.
Great. So let's see what they have to ask you. Dear jury, who wants to go first? Sebastian, yes, please.
A wonderful presentation. Very well done.
Thank you.
You were already talking to potential clients and customers. What was their feedback and what did you learn?
So during our Impact Challenge, we actually contacted some people from the government agencies from Lower Saxony, and also one of our competitors, you could say. They're called Breeze Technologies. And we got their insights. First of all, our main focus was to work with governments and create a simulation platform where they can test their different governmental policies. However, from the feedback which we received, it was quite negative because we saw that it takes a very long relationship with to get tenders from the government. And so we kind of used that feedback to modify our business model. And what we also learned was that it was better to start with smaller cities instead of larger cities because they have more interest in order to solve these problems.
Thank you.
Great. Sasha, yes, please.
Great presentation. Thank you very much for this. It was really easy to follow. Great job with that. Question to you, look, so technically your platform gives a great understanding of current status quo. Do you plan somehow, other than consulting, to recommend or implement some next steps for your users? Because let's say I'm a real estate company, right, or I'm a government agency, and I get that it's not good. So does your platform help me to figure out what to do next, or recommends me next steps, how to improve the situation with the air quality?
Yeah, so that was part of the revenue streams, which we had included. That was the advisory services and consultancy. Because initially our customers were policymakers, we thought that we could advise them on which policies would be the best combination to reduce the air pollution. And the main focus was to quantify by how much they could reduce the air pollution. And so definitely just selling the data would be only one part of it. The consultancy is a very integral part of our project. Yeah.
Great. Matthias, yes, please.
Then a short question to the business case. I do understand more or less the revenue streams. What is about the cost structure? So how expensive is it to get all the data from satellites regarding the pollution? And what does it look like into cost and revenue?
That's a very good question. So the satellite data is open source actually in the European Union because we're starting to focus on, we're starting by focusing on the European market. And so that data which comes from the satellite, that is open source. For the ground data, which we are combining with the satellite data, there we need to form partnerships with other providers who already have sensors installed. So that would be initially a cost, but we also thought that we can establish partnerships with them where it's not a direct... Oh, the time's up.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Yashita. Thank you for the jury for asking your questions.
Thank you so much.
We are switching over to the next team. The next team actually comes from the Gründungsfabrik Rheingau before they came to us at the Impact Challenge. They are actually tackling one important thing, which is the beverage of products. I'm very happy to have you here today. This is Deandra from Ebb Flow Keg.
Hi guys.
Hi,
I'm very
Deandra.
happy to be here.
How are you feeling?
A little bit nervous, but excited.
I'm sure you'll be doing good. Okay, so if you're ready, then please start pitching now.
So good afternoon, my name is Deandra Anderson, and I'm excited to present to you what Ebb Flow Keg is and how we're tapping into the future. So first, I'd like to thank Anna-Lena and Megan for joining us over the Impact Challenge weeks. You guys were great support. Philip, Markella, and myself, our journey began while studying international wine business and winemaking at Hochschule Geisenheim. Once we finished and gained a bit of professional experience, we wanted to open a sustainable wine bar here in Frankfurt that would tackle a very important issue, wine packaging. So wine packaging basically makes up 46% of the emissions that are coming from the wine industry. And we decided to replace that with a stainless steel keg, which is what you can see in the middle, which is 20 liters, lasts up to 30 years, and can replace 27 glass bottles, essentially removing and reducing nearly 18 kilograms of CO2 emissions. So we decided to put the wine bar on hold and instead become an all-in-one wine on tap service provider. So we provide technical expertise and a selected portfolio from small and medium-sized organic producers. We send our kegs, as you can see below, to our producer partners. They fill those and then they're shipped to our B2B partners who are already equipped with a mobile dispensing station or a stationary drafting system. Depending on their needs, they can have both if they need, or just one of the solutions. This is just a better overview of our circular economy. So we send our kegs to our producers for a small leasing fee. We then gain money also from our portfolio sales to our B2B partners, and also from consultancy with drafting equipment and also leasing that equipment. Currently, we outsource our cleaning to a craft brewer in Mainz, but we're looking to bring that in-house. Here's just some quick impressions about what we've been up to, testing, tapping, and of course, enjoying the learning process. We're right now targeting the organic food trade in Germany as well as catering. We're looking at package-free stores and as well as festival caterers, and in the future, obviously, gastronomy, bars, and clubs once they're back on their feet after the pandemic. So what we did over the Impact Challenge, we basically figured out a way that we could track the kilometers our kegs are going, are moving, to give an impact overview for our customers in the future, as well as to optimize our circular economy, specifically looking at logistics. Our next steps, we're going to validate our ideas. So next week already here in Frankfurt, we're going to be testing at Cool Climate, which is a specialized retailer. We're going to be wrapping up our business plan for the Exist Gründer Stipendium, and of course, looking for potential customers. Here you can see our setup in Frankfurt, and yeah, I'd like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Deandra, for your pitch. So are you ready to tackle the questions of the jury?
Yes.
Great. So let's see what the jury would like to ask you. Morten, yes, please.
So maybe an obvious question, why is nobody else doing this already? It seems that the beverage industry is already using kegs widely. Why is it not being used for wine already?
You can see this already, for instance, in the United States and Australia, also in the UK. It just hasn't really been established here in Germany, because I think, yeah, it is a big undertaking when we're looking at a circular economy. We do have higher investment costs, obviously, purchasing the kegs, and then, of course, keeping track of them as they're out there. It is already coming, though. We do see this. I think already in Denmark, you can see in Copenhagen already some wine on tap, but usually they're using a plastic keg, which is only usable once. And yeah, we did a CO2 footprint recently, and we're going to stick with our stainless steel kegs. Wow.
Great. Next question, please. Barbara, yes.
Yes, I'm just wondering, because wine is, of course, a bit different than beer, because there's also this whole customer experience with a good, expensive bottle of wine. Are you targeting a specific segment, so more the lower price wines? Or do you think it would also work for the higher price segment?
So how we're focusing right now mainly on the range between 5 and 15 euros for the wine that we're selling, which would then be medium, yeah, the mid to premium range. We're not looking to sell the wine over 20 euros, obviously, for a liter. It is definitely different than the beer industry, but the technical aspect behind it is definitely scientifically proven that there's nothing different for the wine. And the majority of wines are actually meant to be drunk, you know, basically once you buy them from the store. So if you buy them from a specialized retailer or from the grocery store, they're all ready to be drunk. But we have already tested this at a few different events, and the feedback we've had is quite positive.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, Sasha, please. Yes.
A quick one, I guess we're out of time. If you can summarize technological innovation, what would you say is the innovative part of your solution?
Yeah, so we are actually the dispensing station that we have here in Frankfurt, and that will be live already next week. We've integrated a nitrogen separator. So basically we're pulling in nitrogen from the atmosphere, which hasn't been done yet for a mobile dispensing station, at least here in Europe. That is an innovation, and we're definitely going to have to probably work out some kinks here and there, obviously. But yeah, I would say we're looking and we're working already with equipment partners to make this more streamlined and easy and more accessible to all, because it is a technical undertaking, obviously.
Great. Thank you very much to the jury for posing your questions, and thank you so much to Deandra.
Thank you.
Great. And with that, we're coming to our third team today. And this is also a team that is not completely new to us here at Tech Quartier, because some team members have already participated in one of our former programs, the Greentalians. In this Impact Challenge, they are tackling also sustainable issues, but with an incentive system. I'm very happy to have you guys here today, and welcome Mustafa from Team GreenDrive.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mustafa. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here and hyped for the pitch.
Cool. Well then, without further ado, I would say, Mustafa, please start your pitch now.
Right. I would like to ask a question. What if we could together make mobility sustainable, fun, and rewarding? Sounds nice, right? That's Suscoin, where we incentivize sustainable mobility through a green currency and a smart reward system. But let's take a step back. Why do we need sustainable mobility in the first place? The fact is, 72% of traffic greenhouse gas emissions in Europe are caused by transportation alone. And this takes us to the next question. Why do we need to provide an incentive to people for them to use these sustainable mobility providers? The thing is, 75% of Germans want to live a sustainable life, and 50% think that climate should have the highest priority in future mobility. However, 70% of commuters still use their personal cars. This shows that there is a problem in the current state. Mobility providers are struggling to make people do the switch to their sustainable services due to a number of challenges. There is an insufficient understanding of their users. They're not giving them strong or enough incentives. And lastly, there is a lack of exposure. And that's where we come in, where Suscoin fills the motivation gap. In an entirely gamified experience, users can collect Suscoins with every sustainable ride and spend them later in rewards and discounts in future rides. With that, we give greater exposure for providers, and we also analyze the user's green riding behavior and make use of the data to develop new strategies and maximize the impact we have on mobility. With the Suscoin app, we're bridging the gap between sustainable mobility providers and consumers. With gamification in place, redeeming rewards, earning badges, completing achievements, and with science backing all our strategies and frameworks, we can already see a bright future for sustainable mobility. Next up, our market. In 2017, 18 billion euros were spent on sustainable mobility by German consumers. This clearly shows an increase in readiness of people to already put their money where it's best treating their environment. And we're talking here about a growing market of 30 million daily public transportation users. So much potential. Now, onto our business model. Our USP is the gamification and the smart rewarding that we provide our users for their sustainable rides. Our revenues will consist of the commissions we take from each Suscoin integration and redeemed rewards by users with our partners, as well as provisioning sustainability data analysis. With this, we're helping sustainable mobility users decrease their carbon footprint, and mobility providers increase their revenue through our services. What's next for Suscoin? We want to finalize our app, which is already in its alpha version now. We're then making our market entry by the time we land our first partner, and we're planning to scale to other sectors like the retail, clothing, and food industries. This is us, the team behind it all. We're a highly motivated team with versatile and diverse skill set, and together we're bringing this idea to life. And with your help and expertise, we can collaborate to take Suscoin to the moon. This was Mustafa from GreenDrive. Thank you so much for listening, and happy to take your questions.
Great presentation. Thank you very much, Mustafa.
Welcome.
Are you ready for the jury's questions?
Definitely.
Well then, let's invite the jury. Hi, jury. Please pose your questions. Matthias, yes, please.
So My understanding is that the biggest issue for hindering people to use public transportation is the convenience issue. So it's much more convenient to use a car, and there's still a lot of parking lots available. So it's not the issue is not as big as it could be to find parking spaces, etc. So why do you think just to give a certain incentive in terms of that coin is the way to change that, and not the convenience issue?
So the incentive of making an impact and a change to the how the way transportation is working generally, and the pollution that is coming out from cars and private cars, the incentive we want to give is the change to sustainable behavior. And that's what we are targeting mainly, that people would change so that they can make a difference and still getting paid for it and earning more. And the gamification experience definitely adds to this and adds to the incentive that people would make this change.
Right,
Okay.
Morten, please.
Could you quickly sum up your business model? I didn't quite catch it.
So our business model is mainly the so our USP, our unique selling proposition, is the gamification and the reward system that we provide our users. We plan on our revenue streams are making money from the commissions we take from each ride, because we will be giving more exposure to our sustainability providers, sustainability mobility providers. And definitely there is a big value proposition that we're offering to users, because they are decreasing their carbon footprint. And the mobility providers would also gain more exposure and increase their revenues, because they will gain more customers due to the incentive we're giving to consumers.
Great. Next question, please. Sebastian, yes.
Great presentation. As you said, the behavioral part is core to your business. So what qualifies your team to be, leading the gamification aspect?
So aside from the gamification, if we're talking about as a team, we have a really diverse skill set, as mentioned, and we have from different backgrounds, and this is contributing a lot. But for people to actually use this, we are backing all our strategies and all our frameworks with scientific resources. So the gamified behavior has been scientifically proven in a lot of fields that it incentivizes people. And also the fact that we are going to be visualizing the CO2 reduction that they are doing with every single ride definitely adds to the incentive, because they will feel that they are making a difference to their environment.
Right. I think that's a pretty neat closing, since the time is up. Sorry, Barbara, I will pick you with the next team. All right, so thank you very much to the jury for posing your questions, and thank you so much, Mustafa. I think you did a great job. Okay, so with that, we are coming to our fourth team today in the competition, and this team consists of 5 tech-savvy friends that have gathered together to tackle the issue of garbage collection. Very glad to welcome you guys here today. This is the Greentalians and their speaker, Matteo. Hi, Matteo. Not yet, Matteo? Now.
Okay, that's
Hi.
Matteo. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jury. Hi, Patrice.
Are you doing fine?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. So then, if you're ready.
Since the first day of the Impact Challenge.
Great. So then, please start pitching now.
Okay, hello, everyone. My name is Matteo Manuel, and the pitch for my team, the Greentalians. If you're wondering which team is the nerdiest when it comes to technology, here we are. We are the techie team among the finalists when it comes to artificial intelligence and data-driven approaches. Taken seriously, thanks to our formation, composed by 3 data scientists and 2 AI and robotics engineers, we are by far considerable experts when it comes to data and machine learning. Our team name suggests we are Italians, and we all come from Rome, a beautiful city, the capital. But we are also citizens of such city, and we see another side of it, this one. There is a problem with garbage, and if you're thinking that this is an Italian problem, you should reconsider yourself. Displaced and uncollected garbage is a worldwide problem, and a pretty big one too. Now, the garbage cycle is a complex process, but forget about all the circle, because what I'm going to talk about is the collection of it. Have you ever wondered how the garbage collection gets organized nowadays? At the moment, even in the richest country, we wander around pre-computed routes hoping to find garbage in the bins. This sounds very inefficient. This is not data-driven at all. So we asked ourselves, why? Well, the answer is straightforward. It's not easy to build an infrastructure of algorithms to do so. But guess what? We were capable of doing it, and this is Greentalians' solution to the problem, Unwaste. Unwaste is a dashboard that garbage collection company can use to explore and analyze their data in order to create the optimal path for their trucks. Thanks to the unfair advantage of a friendly company who shared with us a real dataset in their possession, we were capable of building a sophisticated artificial intelligence system. We use data that company already have on a neural network for predictions of how the bins will saturate in the future. Then we use these predictions in our planning algorithms to decide in the order of which bins should be collected first in order to obtain the best possible route for trucks in the end. This is what we coded so far. It's not showing. Anyway, this is not a WordPress dashboard or a no-code solution in Figma. This was fully coded. We have spent days and nights coding to achieve the unlikely because that's how we roll it. But let's talk business now. Currently, there is no standard approach in the world for data-driven planning when it comes to garbage, which means that on the long run, we're talking about a global market opportunity. And we're planning of launching in Europe, and we plan on having a business model of the software as a service. With 3 subscription tiers, each one will fit the needs of the company, from the smallest one to the biggest one. This is the tech roadmap that we're planning to have in the future. We will add image recognition systems on the trucks that, combined with IoT smart bins, will create a totally new smart approach to garbage collection. That's why we want to partner up with European cities like Frankfurt, Berlin, Paris, and others to revolutionize the field. The city of Milan, who is very pumped about our technology and wants to test it as soon as possible. From Greentalians, that's all. I'll be happy to take your question. And if I can give you a hint, let's talk tech, because that's the juicy stuff.
On point, finish your pitch. Great job, Matteo. Are you now ready for the jury's questions?
Let's have a chat, yes.
Well then, let's get the jury on the screen. Hi, jury. Who wants to start? Sasha, yes, please.
Love your energy. Great job. It's super pumping. It's great. I wanted to suggest to the trucks, but then you showed it, so it's great. Good job. Because that's why I wanted to ask you, because there is a human factor of collecting, and that's why it's not always predictable. One question to you in terms of business model. Who is the end customer? Who is paying them?
The customer here are the garbage collection companies. They will use directly the tool. At the moment, the garbage collection companies either are not using a data-driven approach at all, or if they are kind of trying to do it, they are paying a tremendously expensive data science consultancy assistants. They are among the most expensive consultancy assistants that there are in the field of the consultancies. So having a tool that is capable of tackling these kind of expenses will allow every kind of company, from the smallest one with 3 workers to the biggest one, to do a very important job, which is the planning of the routes, which results in the performance of the company itself. And they will be also able to tackle the problem within the company, which is something that companies really like usually. You don't want to allocate an important job out to an outsider, even though they can be really good.
Great.
I hope it answers.
Yes.
Next question, please.
Perhaps.
Matthias, yes.
Okay, so what is the sustainable part of your solution? Because you're not reducing any garbage, you're just collecting it, right?
Okay, where can I start? Actually, if you enter into the mindset, you will see plenty of impact. Because first, let's throw some numbers in order to create a common ground. Okay, it is estimated that by 2050, 68% of the world population will live in urban areas. And at that moment, the solid waste will increase by 17%, 70. It is 2021, and we are obviously struggling with the garbage management. If we are struggling with the garbage collection, we are polluting the earth because there are infiltration in the ground. We are polluting the air. The less advanced countries will burn the garbage. It was estimated that in 2060, 5% of the global emission in CO2 was given only by inefficient waste management, if not considering the garbage that gets burned. It means that only because we are not capable of actually collecting garbage, we are polluting the air. So I think that once you are capable of tackling this problem, you are creating a real impact.
Thanks.
Wow. I think in 10 more seconds, we will not get through another question.
Too bad.
But thank you very much for your questions so far, dear jury, and thank you very much, Matteo, for your presentation.
Thank you, Patrice. Keep it up.
All right, we are already at our final team here today. And this team has done something which is very recommendable actually for some startups. They have pivoted their idea in the middle of the challenge. So now they are here today with their newly ideated idea and solution. And I'm very happy to welcome them here. This is Jenny from the team The Real Price. Hi,
yes,
Jenny.
That's me. Hi.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. Very excited to be here.
Great.
And a little nervous, of course.
I think this goes together. All right, so then, are you ready to start your pitch?
I'm ready.
Cool. So please, Jenny, start pitching now.
Hi, welcome to the Green Card. As we all know, today's major challenges include climate change, resource scarcity, and many more. The bad news is that we're all part of the problem. The good news is that we can do something about it. Our individual consumption decisions cause over 40% of our personal carbon footprint. While there exist various eco-labels promising sustainability, the sheer number of them, all with different criteria, can seem quite overwhelming. Nowadays, there's no neutral platform for sustainable consumption. Therefore, we are creating Green Card, a community-based platform that empowers you to make eco-friendlier purchasing decisions. Green Card offers you general and numeric information about the ecological impact of products throughout different product life phases, because sustainability is more than just a carbon footprint. But that's not all. Our community can find and organize sustainability-related events and sign related petitions. Our main stakeholders include the community that provides and reviews information and gets reputation points in exchange. Then there are sustainable shops and brands that participate in our affiliate program, and of course the consumers that use our information and the affiliates. We'll gain revenues through affiliates, crowdfunding, and funding. Our main USPs include being a non-profit organization to ensure neutrality and trustworthiness, relevant and valid information, our community approach that brings together experts and consumers, the reputation points that rewards our community for sharing their knowledge, and of course our global impact by educating and raising awareness. We believe that if many little people do many little things, we can change the face of the world. We estimate our target group to be alone in Europe 55 million users. If we can help them reduce their footprint by only 5%, we can reduce the European carbon footprint by over 9 million tons and the ecological footprint by over 2 million hectares. Experts warn that we have to change our consumption behavior. However, the expertise regarding these topics is currently very fragmented. But the remaining time to fight climate change is running out. We have to act now. Our strategy to gain popularity includes making use of our extended network like the CCC and podcasts. We will use social media and influencers and approach universities. Our next steps include building the network and the community. And this is the team behind the Green Card. And we have a background in sustainability, management, and IT.
Wow, pretty much on point too. Great job, Jenny. Thank you for your pitch. Are you ready to now tackle the questions of the jury?
I'm ready.
Well then, jury, you heard her. She's ready. Who wants to go first? Barbara, yes, please.
Hi, thank you very much for the pitch. I was wondering, because it's quite a huge job that you are planning to do here, are you planning to start with a specific line of products or a specific market, or what's your idea on that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, indeed, we will start with the European market, and we will start with some product categories and then extend it and increase over the time more and more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
Great. Morten, yes, please.
Are you aiming to build an independent online retail platform, or is it only
I'm sorry?
affiliate? Are you building an independent retail platform, or is it sort of an online supermarket, or is it just affiliate?
No. Oh, sorry. Well, it's not about being a platform that where you can buy things. It's more like educating people on the ecological impact of different products. We will have affiliate links for sustainable shops and brands, of course, but it's more about raising awareness and educating people. Because right now, all the expertise about sustainable consumption is so fragmented. You have interested people acting in social media groups. You have some platforms, but there's no neutral platform on a global scale where you have all the valid information about different products.
You can go on with your question, Morten, if you have another one.
How will you make it neutral if you're dependent on advertisement from retailers?
Well, we will be a non-profit organization, and we will not. Well, we have some links for affiliate shops, but they have to be sustainable. So they have to meet our sustainable criteria, also the products. But mainly we will also gain revenue with crowdfunding and funding. So like the Stack Overflow approach, we want to go that way.
Great. One last quick question from someone. Sasha, yes, please.
Quick one, because opinion is subjective. How would you then filter opinions of community and their voting? Because it's pretty much subjective. Do you have any criteria they will be evaluating the products by, or what's the logic behind that?
Yes. So all the provided information will be peer reviewed, and we will only publish all the information if they are reviewed and accepted as valid. So Sorry.
Oh, and the time is up.
Sorry.
Thank you very much to the jury for posing your question, and thank you very much, Jenny, for presenting your solution.
Thank you.
Now, we've heard all 5 teams pitching here today, and now it's about the jury to go and finalize their evaluation of the teams for the 3 categories: Best Business Model, Most Sustainable Impact, and Best Technical Implementation. In the meanwhile, I want you to stay tuned, because our Business Development Manager, Pascal Valeri, has met Aya Jav and talked to her about topics of entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, and innovation hubs. Take a look.
Thank you, Patrice, for your short introduction. Hi to all of you. My name is Pascal, and I am Business Development Manager at TechQuartier. It's basically my job to develop collaboration formats for startups and established companies. Today, it is my pleasure to welcome the entrepreneur Aya Jav to TechQuartier. I think most of you know Aya already, and it's quite hard to summarize her vita in only a few sentences. I will try that anyway in a short intro. So Aya is only 25 years old and already a Forbes 30 under 30 entrepreneur with a passion for tech and finance. Aya had already multiple stations in her career, and amongst others, she worked for companies and startups as a coder. A really famous example is, for example, Hyperloop in the Silicon Valley. Aya is also an author and wrote her own book, which is called Money Makers, in which she explained her experience with developing and creating the biggest social market game in the biggest social stock market game in Germany, and also explains the Wall Street as simple as possible. Hello, Aya. How are you?
Hi, Pascal.
It's great to have you here. Welcome our virtual studio. As we only have a few minutes today, I want to start and kick off this interview with 3 quick questions. So it's totally sufficient if you answer those questions with only a few words. I start with the first quick question, and it's about the qualities of a founder. So what are 3 qualities, or rather capabilities maybe, of a founder that they should definitely have in your eyes?
I would opt for vision. Having vision is super important, and leadership. and flexibility. So these are my 3 qualities I think every founder should have.
That sounds great. The second quick question is there at the moment a startup out there on the market that everybody should have an eye on, should watch out for? Maybe the next candidate for unicorn?
I personally really like Sono Motors. So I don't know if you know Sono Motors. They are a startup. I believe they're based in Munich, and what they do is they created an electric car that charges itself. So basically, solar panels are on it, and they have also really crazy ideas when it comes to mobility. So they want to share the car in the neighborhood. They want to also share their power so that other people can use the battery life, and that is really revolutionary to me. So Sono Motors, I would say.
Sounds good. So definitely have a look into that as well. The last quick question, Aya, what is an emerging topic also at the moment that everybody, startups and corporates alike, should watch out for? Like, topic could be technology, business model, or broader international development, for example.
I can only speak for myself right now. So the craze I have right now, where I read books, or not rather books, blogs, and watch a lot of YouTube videos and interviews, is NFTs. So NFTs is like my thing because it just revolutionizes the way artists have been able to make money in the past decades. And I believe the blockchain is, just handed us a great business model that could work for, creative people and the music industry as a whole in a very great way.
That sounds great. We also have a lot of startups in that field at TechQuartier. So thanks for those brief answers. Let's take now a bit more time for the answers and the questions. The first question is, in our talent programs, young entrepreneurs, talents, young professionals try to pursue their ideas. And that is something that you did in the past already multiple times. So what are lessons learned or tips you have for those young entrepreneurs? What is your advice to them?
So the most common thing I saw when I worked with startups is the fact that they hold on to their business model a little too tightly. So once it doesn't work out, they stay in it for 6-8 months, and then they still try to make it work without changing anything. So they're basically trying the same thing, which results in the same result. What I would say is, don't be shy to pivot. Don't be shy to really try new ideas out and talk to new partners, because I believe that's a very crucial step for a startup to take multiple times in their career, because seldom have I seen founders who stick with the idea that they actually had in the beginning, years and years into the whole thing. It's rather they change it as they go, and they're open to exploring new ways.
So be flexible. I got that. Also, for many of our formats, we work together closely with established companies, so not only startups, also established companies that, on the one hand, they want to interact with young entrepreneurs themselves, and on the other hand, they want to be innovative or enable innovation and intrapreneurship in their organizations. So what do you think are common mistakes when those companies, those established companies, try to work like a startup or implement startup mindsets or startup ideas in their organization?
So if corporates are trying to really get the startup feeling into their own, I would say, 4 walls, there's this big, I would say, this big mistake where they think, the fact that I allow my employees to play games or play PlayStation during the working hours is part of the startup culture, which for me, that's not what it's about. It's about flattening hierarchies. It's about giving the employees the feeling that they can actually voice their opinion and their opinion is heard. So it's much more about this culture of bringing new ideas forward and not being not being judged for it. If it's wrong, it's wrong, and if it's right, it's great, and they feel heard. So that is what I would say corporates should look out for, because in my generation, or at least the friends that I'm talking to, it's not so much about if the company has like a table tennis in the middle of the office, but it's more about having the feeling that your colleagues are friends of yours and that you can, confide in, and that they always have an open ear for you.
So Aya, you also, when I looked at your CV, you also worked in the past for innovation platforms and innovation hubs like TechQuartier. The one you worked for was in Nuremberg. It's called Solhof. So what do you think? How could those innovation hubs help or accelerate sustainable business ideas and business models?
That's a great question. I think we're all trying different things out at the moment. I see a big trend coming that's saying, hey, we don't want to be unicorns. Actually, that was never our goal. Our goal is to be a zebra. So that is the new term that some startups use that are in the sustainability sector. And I like that. I like that idea of saying we don't have to grow exponentially and have a lot of money from VCs, but we actually care about growing in a manner that is sustainable to the business, but also like to the world we operate in. So I believe if we get startups to actually be confident about that sentence, we can change a lot, because it's about the culture. It's about saying, hey, it's not always about speed, and it's not always about being the biggest player. It's about taking care of the people around you and taking care of the environment and having your own pace, finding the right pace for yourself.
Thank you, Aya, very much for your interests and very much for your insights. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to have you here today. As I said, we have only a few minutes today, but maybe one last question. As you know, today also 5 selected teams pitched their ideas in front of a jury. And actually, at the moment, they are waiting for the results. So are there any last words or motivational words for those teams?
That's a very exciting time for you. I wish you the best of luck. I wish for you that happens what you really, really need. If it's not winning the whole thing or, getting the thing that you wanted today, it will be in the future. Things will come your way and things will work out. Just be in it and just try your best.
That sounds great. Thank you, Aya. Also from my side, good luck to you guys at the Impact Challenge. Bye.
Wow, what a cool woman, huh? That was a really nice interview on entrepreneurship.
So with that, we will now go into the final. First of all, actually wanted to interview a couple of more minutes the jury, but looking at the time and the time of the event now, we will skip the interview. But we would like to thank our jury for their evaluation. Thanks to everyone again for taking part, for evaluating the business models, for taking your time here. It was a pleasure to have you on board. Yes, thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you.
Perfect.
We actually hope that you enjoyed it too.
Thanks for the magnificent pitch.
Then goodbye to the jury. We see us later, and then let's get into the evaluation of the finals. Let's get into the announcement of the winners. And as we said, to recap, we will have 3 categories. So there will be 3 times the prize money of 1,500 euros. So let's see and go into the first category, which is the best, or let's first of all, let's get our teams on board again. I hope you're excited. Let's start, Patrice, with the 3rd place, which is...
Yes, the 3rd place goes to Ebb Flow Keg.
The 2nd place goes to...
the Greentalians.
And now let's get who wins the best business model category. This is the team.
It is Team Dubhe. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, you convinced the jury with your business model. This is the first prize with 1,500 euro. Thank you, Yashita. With that, we're coming to the next category.
The next category is who's got the best technical implementation? Now let's see all teams again in the grid to see your excitement.
We have a small technical issue. Still nice to have you on board, Yashita. Okay, here we see everyone again. So Patrice, let's go through the best technical implementation.
The third place goes to Ebb Flow Keg. Once again. The second place goes to Team Dubhe. And the first place
goes to the Greentalians.
Greentalians. Congratulations, Matteo.
With your passion, you convinced the jury, and of course, most important, with your technical implementation. Congrats to the prize money on the best technical implementation, Matteo.
Thank you so much.
So let's get back to the grid, and let's go in the final category that we have, which is especially important, of course, here as part of the Impact Festival. As we're talking about sustainability, let's see who convinced the jury with the most sustainable impact. The third place goes to
Team Ebb Flow Keg.
Unfortunately, it was not the first prize, but you convinced the jury at least to be 3 times on the third place. So the second place goes to
the Greentalians.
It was a close race. You were in the top 3. And now let's see who wins the last category, the most sustainable impact. It's the team
Dubhe. Once again, congratulations, Yashita.
You're not only convinced with the business model, also with your sustainable impact. It was a great pitch. Thank you, Yashita, for joining us. Thank you to the whole team, Dubhe, and congratulations for this prize. Perfect. With that, we will, thanks a lot again for all the teams, of course, also to the other teams. You all have the opportunity. Of course, we only have 3 winners here, but you all have the opportunity to continue with your idea and also to work on your idea to pitch in front of the Impact Festival when we will have a pitch battle that we will organize. At this point, I would like to say a special thank you to all the teams that were involved. Most important thank you, of course, also again to our sponsors. And also very much thank you to the whole TechVatir team. I think Patrice, you did a great job on organizing this program with us together, but also of course, behind the scenes. We had here in studio, in the streaming, we had the marketing and the whole TechVatir team involved that really made this program possible. And of course also in counterpart, the ones that organized this together with us from the Impact Festival. Yes, it was great. With that, I think, yeah.
And once again, a huge thank you to our corporate partners and, of course, to our mentors, to the jury today, and to all the talents that have participated in the Impact Challenge. Yes. Thank you so much. We are very happy to see you, hopefully also in the round table at the Impact Connect. And for now, we wish you a happy networking.
Happy networking, and see you at the round tables. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and see you.
Bye.
Bye.